Hey everyone, it's Nick Dease, Film and Humanities Librarian at the Boatwright Library. Today we're going to be talking about citing sources and why it's so important. By the end of this video, you'll have a good grasp on what citation is and what resources the library has available to you. So let's get started. Whenever we make a claim about which our readers can reasonably ask, how does the author know that? We must defend it with some kind of supporting information resource, a book, an academic article, statistics, and so on. The universe is about 14 billion years old. Language structures thought, and threat of death penalty does not deter crime are all examples of claims that must be defended. Rather than detailing these defenses in the body of our work, which would take up both a lot of space and distract from our central argument, we simply point or refer our readers to them. These are the, quote, references your professors are always going on about. We want to make sure our readers can find their way back to the supporting resource, so we include important information like the author's name, the title of the resource, the date the resource was published, the journal or publishing house where it appeared, the URL, and so on. Taken together, we can call this information a citation. But should we provide the URL first or the author's name first? What should come next? The title or the date of publication, or something else? Luckily, there is a standardized format for citations. In fact, there are several formats. Most academic disciplines have their own. Psychology has APA, sociology has ASA, political science has APSA, and so on. Try to note your professor's preferred citation format before you begin writing. If it is not specified in the syllabus or the assignment, then you may want to ask. This way you can cite your references with an appropriate in-text citation, endnotes, or footnotes from the outset, rather than having to double back and reformat everything after you've completed the paper. The University of Richmond Library provides a wealth of resources for ensuring you're citing references properly. So why don't we take a look at some? All right. Here we are at the library's website, which is just library.richmond.edu, and the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is generate a citation through our OneSearch discovery tool. So I'm going to plug in a keyword here. We're just going to search for Albert Camus, well-known philosopher, and then I'm going to narrow myself down to scholarly and peer-reviewed articles. And then let's say I want to cite this peer-reviewed article here, Albert Camus' Philosophy of Love, and it's in a journal called Philosophical Investigations. So if I click on this journal or this article, it will open up the detail page here, and then I can generate a citation. Underneath the Send To heading, you will see a button that says Citation. And if I click on that, it will generate citations for me in all of the major styles. So you can see by default here, it has selected MLA 9th edition. And if I wanted to put this in my paper, I could just click on Copy Citation to Clipboard. And then I could go to my word processor and paste that in. I could also grab an APA, Chicago, or Harvard as well. Now, one thing I want to make very clear about this citation generation tool is that it's based entirely on the information that we have in the system. And because this tool is a software program made by human beings, it is ultimately prone to error on occasion. So I always like to say this is a great place to go to get the major citation information, like your author, the time it was published, the title, the journal, etc. However, it is ultimately on you to make sure that this citation is actually correct. And so the way that you do that is you take a look at these citation style manuals, and then you compare and make sure that you have made an appropriate citation. So there's nothing wrong with copying a citation here to start, but before you submit that paper to your professor, you want to double check to make sure it's right. And the best way to do that is to start at our Citing Sources guide. So I'm going to take you back to the main page of our library site, and I'm going to scroll down here, and you will see we have a section here called Research Guides. You're going to click on that, and then you are going to scroll down to where you see Citing Sources, and then you'll click on a Citing Sources Research Guide. So from here, you can see we have tabs for all of the major citation styles. Now let's say I wanted to double check my APA citation. I could click on APA. And if you do that, you'll see here right from the get-go on the top left, we have a link that goes directly to the publication manual by the APA, the current 7th edition. We have this in the library, and that takes you to the catalog record for that print material. If you go down here on the left sidebar, you'll see there's a Zotero bib tool. This is a similar tool to what we have in OneSearch. It generates a citation for you, and you can plug in URLs or DOIs directly into that tool to generate citations. It's a little bit more complicated than OneSearch, but it can be helpful as well. However, it carries with it the exact same caveat. You should consult the official manuals or the Purdue Online Writing Lab, or what we call the OWL. And so you'll see on the right sidebar here under Style Guides, there is a quick reference. You can check that out. But you will see the APA Citing OWL resource here. If we click on that, it will pull up the OWL page. This is one of the best online resources for finding citation style guide information, and they have all of the major styles here. Because I clicked on that link from the APA page of our Citing Sources guide, it took me to the APA section here. And so if you click on the left sidebar here under Formatting and Style Guide, there is a general format page which gives you general information on how you should structure an APA paper. There's a page here for the in-text basics, how to do in-text citing. And then there are specific pages dedicated to different types of materials, like, for example, under your reference list, how should you cite a book? How should you cite audiovisual media? And so basically on each one of these pages, they will break down how that citation should look, and then they will give you a real-world example. And so essentially, if you started your research from OneSearch, you copied a citation from the citation generator, you put it in your paper, you would then go to a resource like the Purdue OWL and then consult a page like this and see, did I cite this film or video correctly, or this TV series correctly? Now, you will need to scroll through and find the appropriate example based off of the material that you've selected in OneSearch. So there will be some hunting and pecking in order here. But in general, this is a great sort of foolproof method to ensure that you cited it correctly, and your professor will be very happy. Now, while we are on this page, one other thing I really like that this tool does is it gives example papers. So if you scroll down here under APA sample paper, it will, if you scroll down, show you what a full APA paper looks like. And so this is very helpful if you have like a small question about whether the in-text should look a certain way or your full citation should look a certain way. And so you can scroll through, read the notes, and then find examples so that you know that you're structuring your paper well. Now, APA is just one of these citation styles from the Purdue OWL. If you scroll down here, you can check the other ones out as well as some exercises. And with that, that is a very quick introduction to citing sources. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to us at library.richmond.edu. And I'll see you next time.